23 goals, 18 assists, 44 matches, and Barcelona still got eliminated from the Champions League. Again, that is the brutal reality of Lamine Yamal's season. The numbers are extraordinary. The individual performances were at times the best from any player in Europe this year. Against Inter Milan last season, a game Barcelona lost, Yamal was so good that journalists were calling him the best player in the world. Not the best teenager, the best player. He just turned 18. And yet here we are again. La Liga title essentially sealed. Champions League gone. Same story, different year. So the question the whole football world is now whispering, and some are just saying out loud, how long does a player like Yamal wait? His contract runs until 2031. €1 billion release clause. Barcelona moved quickly after last season's Inter elimination to tie him down, to make the statement that this project is built around him. And Yamal signed. He stood next to Laporta and Deco and smiled and said Barca is the club of his life. He meant it. Nobody doubts that. But contracts don't win Champions Leagues. Signings do, teammates do, systems do. And this is where it gets complicated. Look at this season with clear eyes. Barcelona dominated La Liga convincingly. Yamal created more big chances than any player in the division. He made his 100th La Liga appearance, the youngest player in history to reach that landmark. Records are falling around him constantly, the kind that get announced at press conferences and put on graphic cards, the kind that would satisfy most players for an entire career. But watch the Champions League knockout games, and a different story emerges. When it gets to the point where one mistake ends everything, when the margins shrink and the opposition is elite and organized, Yamal is still producing, still the best player on the pitch in most of those games, still creating, still carrying, still alone. Against Atletico in the quarterfinals this week, he scored, he pressed, he was Barcelona's entire attacking threat for long stretches of the match. Barcelona won the second leg 2-1 and still went out 3-2 on aggregate. Rafinha called it a robbery. But here's the honest truth, when your best player is your only reliable match winner in the biggest games, you haven't built a team around him. You've built a dependency around him. Those are very different things. The deeper problem isn't Yamal, it's the structure around him. Pedri's body continues to give out at the worst moments. Gavi has never been the same player since his knee surgery. The midfield that's supposed to control games at the highest level keeps crumbling in the moments that count. And when that midfield crumbles, Yamal doesn't get to be the last piece of an attacking puzzle. He has to be the whole puzzle. He drops deep to collect the ball because nobody else can progress it. He sprints 40 meters back into defense because the structure leaves the right channel exposed whenever he attacks. He carries defensive workload that Messi, who Yamal is constantly compared to, never had to carry at this age because Xavi and Iniesta were controlling the game and letting Messi wait for his moment. That midfield doesn't exist anymore. What exists is Yamal plugging gaps that shouldn't be his to plug, and he does it. He does it without complaining. He does it and still posts those numbers. And then after the Atletico elimination, he goes on social media and posts, "A man's word is always kept. We will bring it back to Barcelona. No anger, no finger pointing, just a promise." At 18 years old, after being the best player in a losing team for the second consecutive Champions League campaign. That's not a player thinking about leaving, that's a player thinking about winning. But here's the question nobody at Barcelona wants to answer. Is the club building fast enough around him? Because Yamal's peak years aren't coming in 2031 when his contract expires. They're coming in the next 3 or 4 seasons. Right now, while he's fearless and explosive and playing without the weight of expectations that eventually slows even the greatest down. For now, Yamal's answer is clear. He stays, he believes, he carries. The real question isn't whether Yamal will leave Barcelona, it's whether Barcelona will become worthy of keeping him.